Hey Julian, welcome to LayerTalks. Thank you so much for doing this. To start off with, talk a bit about yourself and what you're building.
Thank you for having me. My name is Julian. I'm one of the co-founders of Davos Protocol. I've been in crypto for 2+ years. Before this, I was working at Anchor under their BD department with a focus on liquid staking. We came up with the idea for Davos Protocol 8 months ago. The idea spawned off UST on Terra. We noticed that people would love, to hold a stable asset, in our case, that generates yield in a sustainable manner. Obviously, we did address the mechanical flaws that UST experienced. So what we've done is we've now created a stable asset that makes use of a CDP infrastructure. However, unlike most CDPs, the yield just remains idle. Instead, to address this, we make use of liquid staking, allowing for us to generate a sustainable yield in which the staking rewards and the borrowing interest are then converted into Davos, and then we redistribute these rewards to Davos stakers and liquidity providers. Right now, we are on the Polygon chain, and we are obviously going to be moving to Ethereum in line with the Shanghai upgrade, as we believe liquid staking is going to create a big boom in 2023.
And I mean, that is a great answer. At the same time, I would like to ask what is your take on stable coins and all the recent backgrounds that are happening around?
Yeah, very good question. So I think why we call ourselves a stable asset is everyone knows about the stablecoin trilemma, and the issue we're addressing is the capital inefficiency side of it. And obviously, in doing so, we then deemed ourselves a stable asset because we don't promise an absolute peg. Instead, we promise high price stability. So what I mean by that is we make use of a floating peg, if one can think of that. And I think after everything that's happened, people now realize that in order to keep an absolute peg is basically impossible, and even the most trustworthy stable coins, or maybe that we thought, fail to do so. So instead, yes, we are over collateralized, but we don't promise a one-to-one peg. However, we do promise, slight deviations off the peg. But in doing so, that obviously creates arbitrage opportunities for users, which is obviously a natural mechanic in economics that will bring the peg back to stability.
And what is your thought on ecosystem in general, DeFi in general?
I think for 2023, I'm very excited to see what happens. Obviously, we make use of liquid staking. One of our integral partners is Anchor, who's one of the biggest liquid staking providers in the space. So, from that aspect, I really do think liquid staking is obviously going to explode this year in line with the Shanghai upgrade. And yeah, overall, I think I'm really excited for DeFi. I think there's a lot of great opportunities coming out of the space of very innovative projects.
And what are you picking out of Dubai? Any interesting observations?
Yeah, I think it's been a great event so far. I think there's been a huge amalgamation of devs, business development, VCs, and even exchanges. So yeah, it's just been great conversations. Everyone wants to learn a bit about each other and see what each other's opinion are on the ecosystem.
Great, thank you so much for doing it. Looking forward to what Davos becomes, and best luck.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.